Hi guys, it's me, it's Angela. It's great to be back and to have you join me on this video. So you may remember me. It's been a little while, I have to say, well over a year since I've been on my channel. I started my channel to share my story and to become part of the ExJW community, who I have to say is doing an absolutely sterling job. I follow so many of you, I watch your videos, and it's just helping me a great deal to make sense of the nonsense that I was raised with. So just to recap, I was born into the religion. My parents were from the Caribbean, and they, particularly my mother, she started studying when she was young. Met my father, he started studying, well, he was told that if he wanted to marry my mother, he had to start studying. So he did, started his studies, got baptized. They both got baptized, and then they married. And then they came to England, and my father never really believed what the teachings were. He could see straight through that it didn't make sense, that a lot of the teachings were not based on love and really just quite fairy tale-ish, so if that's a word. But yeah, he felt that it was nonsense, so he didn't really commit to the religion. But my mother, she did. So as we were growing up as children, I've got lots of brothers and sisters, and we were all taken along to the Kingdom Hall, and one by one my brothers and sisters, again like my dad, realised it's a load of nonsense, it's built on lies, there's no truth in it, it's not based on the Bible, it's made up as they go along, and they all stopped going, apart from me. So I continued going along with my mother, and I really sort of made the truth my own, if you like, because I was raised with those values, didn't have friends outside of the Jehovah's Witness religion, cult, belief, faith, organisation, whatever you want to call it. So really was deeply indoctrinated from such an early age, and my memories go right back to being about 3 or 4, going to the Kingdom Hall. So really deeply indoctrinated. So when I grew up and I left school, felt that I needed to be a good Jehovah's Witness girl and really follow the career path that they encourage. So my career path as a woman or as a young girl was to be very active in field service and to become a pioneer, and one day marry a very spiritual brother who would progress to be an elder. So that was my career path, and sure enough, I left school in the May, and at the summer convention in 1983, that is, I got baptized, and in the October I started full-time pioneering. If only I knew then what I knew now, that I would be wasting my entire life. So I did that for a number of years, full-time pioneer, had status in the congregation as a spiritual sister, as a pioneer. So I realised after a while, after watching videos from the community, that realised really how manipulated I was in thinking that in order to please God, I would have to be out there for hours and hours and hours each day. And back then in the 80s, to be a full-time pioneer, it was 90 hours a month. 90 hours a month. Auxiliary pioneers were 60 hours and full-time pioneers were 90 hours. And that's what I did, 90 hours a month, on average 3 hours a day. And I find that, looking back now, I find that really ironic, because if, according to Jehovah's Witnesses, we are so much closer to Armageddon and the work is speeding up, then why are the pioneers doing even less hours per month if the work is so urgent? I find that really odd. So that was me. I am full-time pioneer, really involved deeply with the organisation. I was one of these, I look back now, and I was one of those blind, mindless followers, literally a sheep, and I would have believed and soaked up every last word without even thinking about whether or not it was right. And I got to a point where a few things just wasn't making sense for me, and I tried to find the answers within my own research, within the literature, but I was just going round and round in circles. But at the same time, I was really afraid to ask questions and to express my doubt, because the culture within Jehovah's Witnesses is there is no room for doubt. You believe it 100%, and if you have doubts, you're no longer seen as this spiritual sister, but you could be marked. And being a pioneer, a full-time pioneer, that wasn't really going to go down well. So I had these doubts and I kept it to myself, and then my doubts were really about spirituality and spirits. I would have these questions such as, well, let me say, I really believe that when we die, that's not the end of it. I believe that there are spirits around us. There are good spirits, bad spirits, just like there are good people and bad people. And when we die, according to Jehovah's Witnesses, that's it. You're just dead. That's it. But I couldn't quite believe that. And a lot of that was to do with my own personal experiences. And I really felt that there was something after when we die, and that our spirit lives on, and that we can be around our loved ones. If nothing else, that for me was a comforting thought, to think that our loved ones are always with us, rather than just kaput, dead. So I couldn't quite accept that, but at the same time was really afraid to ask those questions, because I knew the consequences of that, which again, looking back in hindsight, I think is really, really sad that the organisation doesn't promote a healthy culture where people can ask legitimate questions and explore those in a safe environment. So I find that really odd that, you know, they can't ask questions. And I did mention that to a Jehovah's Witness once, and they said, oh, that's so ridiculous. Of course we can ask questions. Who's going to stop you from asking questions? You look at our magazines, we have a question section that anybody can write in and ask a question. Well, now I know different, thanks to watching some of the videos from the ExJW community, particularly JT and Lady C over on their channel ExJW critical thinker. And now I know that some of those questions are actually manipulated by the organisation to get a point across. But also, if you are lucky to have a question answered, then you cannot question that response. So there was a lot of fear for me around some of my doubts and some of the spiritual things that I was experiencing. So I was able to escape from the organisation because as a pioneer I moved congregations and the new congregation didn't really know me. So that was my escape route out of the organisation. And once I was away from the influences of the organisation, I could start to process information myself. But you know, that indoctrination for the first 21 years of my life was so deep. It was incredibly deep. It's taken over 30 years for me to get over that and to deal with that. I mean, I'm now 53 and I'm still processing. I'm still processing that, what I class now as spiritual abuse. And I really feel that I've been spiritually abused by the organisation. So 18 months ago, I started my channel in order to express myself with my feelings about the organisation and to share my experiences and to be part of the ExJW community. And I was doing ever so well, trundling along, knocking out my videos, gathering a community, meeting lots and lots of you lovely people. Even had videos talks, Zoom talks with a couple of you, and we've made friends and it's been absolutely lovely. And then I had a massive spanner in the works. So I still have a couple of family members who are still Jehovah's Witnesses, and they got wind of one of my posts through a link that I'd posted, through a video that I posted on Instagram, and it caused a lot of upset. And because of that, and out of respect for my family members, I decided just to cool off from it. And that's why I've been absent. It's been about 18 months and I've had such lovely messages from you, my community, asking about me, wondering about me, saying you've missed my videos and you want to see me back. So I really, really appreciate all your lovely comments and emails inquiring. So it was ironic because Jehovah's Witnesses feel that they almost have the right to bring their dogma to people's doors, to spread their message, to get out their news, whatever they choose. They won't feel that it's their right to do that. But if you take the opportunity to speak your truth and to share your views, and it's against the organisation, they take issue with it. And that pretty much was the situation in my case. So my family members discovered that I was talking about against the organisation and were very upset about that. And I respect that they have a right to be upset. But I did express to them that I have a right to share my views. The same way that the witnesses feel that they can knock your door and share their views, I have a right to do the same. So that was the situation, and they were very upset. So I decided, you know what, I'll just let it lie a little bit. but I still have been part of the community, watching and supporting all the other channels, which, by the way, you're doing absolutely fantastic work, and it's really helping so many of us. So I am on YouTube. I decided to create my new channel, which is called Time Out with Angela, and that is so important because our health is critical, and especially if you're coming out of the cult, out of the religion, out of the organization or the belief system, whatever you want to call it, it can be a really difficult time. So looking after your health and wellness is so important. So I'm sharing tips and information on this subject over on my new channel. I am a trained wellness and weight loss and well-being coach, and professionally qualified in training and lots of other things that are all interrelated to the channel that I've now set up. So feel free to pop over. I'll put a link in the description below, and I would love for you to follow me over there on that channel, and it's called Time Out with Angela. So and it's also about my own wellness and well-being journey, because even though I've been out of the organisation now for well over 30 years, there's still some traits that has lingered with me. There's still some things that I still can't shake. I still not believe, but just some things that are so deeply entrenched that, so to give you an example, black sausages. So I know that a lot of you guys are American, so I'm not sure if you have black sausages over in the US, but black sausages are a delicacy over here in England, and it's sausage meat but made with blood, pig's blood, and you cook it and you fry it, and it's a delicacy, and a lot of English people will have that with breakfast. Their bacon, eggs, what we call a full English breakfast. Your bacon, eggs, your beans, your sausages, etc. And then they'll often have a slice of black sausage. Now, I have never, ever, ever had a black sausage in my life. And part of that is because of the mentality and the indoctrination about not eating blood. And I've never ever tried it, never. And even, 30 years later, I'm still like, I don't even want to touch it, let alone eat it. So there's still a lot of things that I'm still dealing with and trying to decode from. So yes, my health, well-being and wellness channel is really about my wellness journey, but also sharing tips as a weight loss, well-being and wellness coach to help others. So guys, please feel free to pop over and follow me. It'd be great to see you. It'd be great to hear from you. It'd be great to know how you are doing on your journey. So yes, it's an interesting time for the Jehovah's Witnesses as an organisation, a cult, a religion, a group, whatever you want to call them, because of what's happening in the courts around the child abuse cases. That's interesting. Their claim that we're in the final days of the final days of the final days, and how many more final days are there to come, who knows. So it's really interesting, and I've been, as I say, watching so many channels and supporting and watching lots of newcomers to the community, and it's absolutely fantastic to see your voice, have your voice, and to know that so many people are waking up because of the good work of the ExJW community, and to know that regardless of how old you are, whether you are in your teens, in your 20s, or whether you're in your 70s or 80s, you can now move forward and live your life freely without the control of this organisation. And it's interesting, but I had a text from somebody only about 3 weeks ago, and I was absolutely delighted to hear from this person, because I hadn't heard from them for over 30 years. And there was no greeting. It was a little bit strange, but there was no greeting in the message, and the only thing that they wanted to know was, am I still a Jehovah's Witness? Was I a pioneer? Because according to their memory, I was. Am I still a pioneer? And once they discovered that, no, I'm no longer a Jehovah's Witness and I'm not a pioneer, their next question was, am I disfellowshipped? And there was no greeting, no hello, no hi, no how are you, how's your family. There was none of that. They just wanted to know. And I just felt that they were just so, one, apart from being incredibly rude, I felt that they wanted to take the opportunity to give me a witness and to try and get me back into the organisation. So I was really blunt with them, and I said that no, I'm not Jehovah's Witness. I have nothing to do with that cult, and I regret having been raised as a Jehovah's Witness and giving my life to that evil organisation. And with that silenced them, and that was it. I haven't heard from them since, and probably won't for another 30 or 40 years. But it's just so sad that they're particularly using this coronavirus situation and lockdown that we're in now to reach out to people and to try and scaremonger them back into the cult. Well, it's never, ever, ever going to happen to me. And I know that they say never, never say never, but that is one thing I can guarantee. I'm so awake now from the clutches of Satan's organisation that there's no way I will ever go back. But I respect the fact that people still choose to believe that nonsense. I respect the fact that my family, some members of my family, are still involved in it and believe every word that comes out in the magazine, and you know, respect the fact that they will defend their beliefs, and they're entitled to it. They're entitled to have their beliefs and have their views and practice their religion the same way that I have my views and choose to share my views with others. So yeah, guys, so that's where I'm at. I'm well. I'm well. I'm good. The weather is absolutely gorgeous here in England. And life is good. I've been doing a lot of work around health and well-being and weight loss, and supporting a lot of people on their weight loss journey, and also focusing on my own weight loss journey, and really focusing in on my health, improving my health, because I have a number of health conditions. But again, I really believe, I did a video about my health condition that I suffer with called lupus, and the trauma of being indoctrinated with the Armageddon theories and displeasing God and being killed and murdered at Armageddon if I didn't please God. And I really believe, looking back now, that trauma actually created stress in my body, and as a result I'm living with the impact of that today. So yeah, so check out that video, those two videos. I will post links below. So other than that, I'm still dealing with that, and trying to eat healthily, really build up my body, so that I could just move forward mentally, emotionally and physically from my traumatic experience. Even though it was over 30 years ago, it still haunts me. So yeah, so you know, on that score I'm good. My son is doing great, and yeah, so all is good and well. So guys, leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how you are doing. I would absolutely love to hear from you. And then please feel free to pop over to my new channel at Time Out with Angela, and just subscribe, click that bell, leave me a comment and watch my videos. And yeah, it's all is good. Look after yourselves, guys. Keep doing the brilliant work that you're doing to expose Satan's organization, the Watchtower, whatever they call themselves these days. Do everything you can to expose them. Keep doing that, and I'll always be here to follow you and support you. And I'll be popping in from time to time with the odd video, but for now my focus is going to be on health, well-being and weight loss recipes and lifestyle for my new community. Okay guys, look after yourselves. Lots of love to you from right here in England. But also guys, if you're coming to England in the near future, do keep an eye on my channel too, because on my new channel called Time Out with Angela, I will be also doing some videos around the tourist areas in the UK. So I'll be doing some videos around London on all the tourist spots to go and visit, places of interest in Manchester, Stratford, my city called Birmingham. There's loads of great things in Birmingham, and various places. So do keep an eye on my channel for those videos. So, but that won't start, those videos on the tourist parts of the city of England won't start until after lockdown. But just click join me and I'll see you there. Okay guys, lots of love. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep waking up, keep being smart, keep being wise. Look after each other, and I'll see you over on my new channel. Take care guys. Bye.